friends. Welcome to Notes on the Journey. I'm Sister Cherilly, a daughter of Mary Help of Christians, aka Salesian Sister of St. John Bosco. Notes on the Journey is a podcast where we will hear different guests share a little bit about their vocation story with the Lord. We will also have the opportunity to listen to a favorite song of theirs that connects to God's call in their life. My hope and prayer for you through this podcast is for you to be encouraged in your own vocation, in your own life journey, and appreciate God's work in people's lives, and to hear some beautiful and uplifting song choices. I realize that it's a good idea for all of you to hear a little bit about my own vocation journey as I begin this podcast. It's also good to hear from the host in the podcast as well. So you'll get to hear a little bit from me. I am originally from California, from San Bernardino, and my family, we have 3 boys and 3 girls. And then I'm starting in August, my 4th year of profession, of being a professed sister. And currently I'm studying to become a music teacher. So I'm studying at Our Lady of the Lake University in San Antonio. I'm very excited. I have about 1.5 years left. And a couple of questions about my vocation that I've been asked. How old were you when you heard God's call, and how was it? When did you hear God's invitation to religious life? I would say about 12 years old when I pretty clearly heard God's invitation to become a sister. Just to give a little bit of background, my family was raised in the Seventh-day Adventist Christian Faith by my dad, who today he is still a very devoted Seventh-day Adventist Christian. And my mom was a cradle Catholic. So she was not very strong in her faith, and she was okay with having me and my brothers and sisters raised Seventh-day Adventist. Sometimes she would come to church with us on the weekends, but it wasn't until my older siblings started really being interested in the Catholic faith to the point that they themselves wanted to become Catholic. So they joined the RCIA program, and I was just very intrigued. I thought, wow, isn't church supposed to be boring? So why are they so excited about the Catholic Church? Anyway, I decided to join the RCIA for children. So I was about 10 years old at the time. And that was also very challenging because my poor dad, he did not want me or my other brothers and sisters to look into becoming Catholic. Around this time, my mom was also becoming stronger in her own faith. And she also started to grow more and started attending Mass regularly on Sundays. I did decide, whether my family members approved or not, I'm going to go to Mass, and I'm going to attend catechism classes and receive the sacraments. So I did in 2007. But my teachers, who are a married couple, they taught my class about adoration. And I knew about adoration already a little bit, but when they had shared about that in class, that really reminded me, this is a very special thing to be able to adore the Lord in the Blessed Sacrament. And my family members who were Catholic, they said, let's go every Friday to adoration. We would spend a holy hour. At first, being a younger kid, it was a little difficult. Soon I started enjoying it more, being able to quiet myself, settle in, pray the rosary, and also just talk to God. There was one point, and this goes back to that question about when did you hear God's call? There was one point during one of those adoration moments, I was just very overwhelmed with gratitude, thanking God, wow, God, you would become a piece of bread because you love each and every one of us, and you are willing to come to us in Holy Communion as a piece of bread. I was just so overwhelmed and grateful by that. And I remember praying, Lord, what can I do in return? And in my heart, I heard, you can become a sister. I wasn't totally sure what that all entailed, but I do remember knowing that, okay, I know sisters serve God in a special way. They belong to God in a special way. But I also remembered a little bit after that going back home and then eventually checking out on Google, what is a Catholic sister? What do they do? And the things that I learned about sisters, I said, okay, maybe I could become a sister. Like knowing what they did, knowing who they are in the church, I said, okay, I could picture myself maybe becoming a sister. I also dreamed about becoming a veterinarian because I do like animals, and also being a teacher. I'm just very grateful to God that the Daughters of Mary Help a Christian, so my community, the Salesian Sisters of St. John Bosco, they were founded by St. John Bosco and St. Mary Mozzarella as a living monument of gratitude to Mary Help of Christians. So I thought that was pretty neat. Like, okay, out of gratitude for the Eucharist, talk about the Eucharistic revival. Out of gratitude for the Eucharist, I heard God's invitation to become a religious sister. But this community is especially big about gratitude, and they were founded because of gratitude. I think that's really amazing. Okay, to answer another question here, I do have a brother who is a diocesan priest, Father Gino, and how has this been helpful to me in my own vocation? I honestly believe that family members and close friends are extremely instrumental in family life, and especially when it comes to support and vocation and discernment. Most of all, in my own life, I have experienced this, especially through my brother, Father Gino, and also through the support of my other family members, but especially my mom and Father Gino. He really encouraged me to continue discerning, even when there was a point in my life where I had entered with a community of sisters as a candidate. And at the conclusion of that year of formation with the sisters, they shared with me the formator sister, who was in charge of checking in on my vocation, discernment, and checking in on each stage during that first year. She shared with me, you should probably go. Maybe go home, grow more. I was like 18, 19 years old at the time. Do more college. So I did. I studied music, went home to my family, got a job. That was also a very difficult time in my life because I felt that, maybe God is trying to tell me, like, maybe I'm not called to be a sister, or maybe he's telling me I have to try harder. Like, what's going on? I was very confused, and I was also very sad to leave the community that I was hoping to continue discerning with. But God was also working through that. And during my college years, my brother, he shared with me, okay, so when are you going to go and discern and visit more communities again? Because during that time, I was just focusing on my studies, working. Honestly, it was a little bit annoying at first because I said, I already enjoyed teaching music, enjoyed my classes and my studies. A certain extent, I did not want to actively discern. But with that encouragement of my brother, I decided, okay, well, let me at least check out a couple of communities or reach out to them. It was also during that time I continued discerning with the original community I had discerned with. So I stayed in touch with the vocation sister, but there came a point where I shared with her, I could picture myself being a sister doing this, or being a sister like this. And she said, you sound like a Salesian sister. You sound like a Salesian sister. And as soon as she said that, I felt this, I don't know, I guess I would say I felt a sense of relief that the community that I was originally discerning with also supported me to check out our Salesian sisters. But I'm just extremely grateful. And even though there are differences in my family, so another question that I've been asked before is, your mom and dad are not both Catholic. It's just one who's Seventh-day Adventist Christian and the other is Catholic. There were definitely some challenges there, yes. But what were some of the blessings? Okay, so some of the blessings for me was they really helped me to prioritize prayer. Family prayer, prayer by going to church. They really encouraged me to prioritize prayer. Secondly, they also, through their example in faith, helped me to put God first. And I think that was also very instrumental in my discernment journey, because sometimes I had to make some decisions to take steps towards religious life that I knew, obviously I'm not doing this to please friends or to please some family members. But I knew that this decision to look into religious life was ultimately a decision to honor God. So that's something that has stayed with me. Prioritize prayer, prioritize God, put God first, put prayer first. And that is really a strong foundation that my parents gave me in the Seventh-day Adventist faith and also from the Catholic faith as well. I'm just very grateful for my vocation, very grateful for everybody who has walked with me in my discernment. And I'm just very thankful for the experiences that I've had so far, and also from the support of my brother, my mom, my other family members, even some of my family members who are not Catholic. They have also, some of them have supported me, or just gently said, like, we don't approve, but we do know that you're doing what you think is the best thing. Thank God. There's so many things to be thankful for, so many blessings, and I really, really thank God for. A song that has connected to my vocation is a song that I wrote, and it was closer to, actually, I believe I was on retreat right before I was going to become a sister, to make my first profession of vows. And that was a difficult time to a certain extent, mainly because it was just in the middle of the COVID outbreak, and I couldn't invite family and friends to come because we weren't sure if people were going to get sick, things like that. So it was very challenging for me, but also when I came to the retreat, I had just traveled from the novitiate in New Jersey, and then coming to Texas, I also had to quarantine. So I was doing my retreat by myself in my room, but I had a lot of time to do some songwriting. And this song came about, and it's called Come and Follow Me. It's from one of the favorite Bible passages that I have, of the rich young man and the invitation of Christ to come and follow him. I think this connects a lot to my own vocation, because I knew that no matter what circumstances I was going through at the time, no matter what challenges, my decision was to follow Christ. Like, I had to follow Christ. I couldn't just say, whoa, let me stop, because let me just pause, because I can't invite my friends and family to my first profession. Like, no. I had that peace and that joy of knowing that I was going to make a big step to consecrate myself to God as a sister, and I'm just going to push through. Like, God called me to come and follow him. So I hope you enjoy it. And if you want to hear the whole song, it is also on my YouTube for my music. So if you look up Don Bosco's Lily, that's me. That's Sister Cherilly. Okay, so I hope you enjoy it. This is Come and Follow Me. Come and follow me. Come and follow me. Sell what you have and give to the poor. Oh, come and follow me. You look at me deep. As a final word of encouragement to anybody who's discerning, especially religious life, just give God a chance. Just give him the first chance, because you're never going to know unless you check out the life. But then if you don't ever look into religious life, you're always going to be left wondering, was this for me? And God will bless you. Give God the first chance. He is extremely gentle. He is extremely generous and kind. If you give him the first chance, he will bless you for that. And don't be afraid of that. Just give him a chance. He's the best person you can take a risk with. That is Jesus. Friends, thank you so much for listening to Notes on the Journey. If you enjoyed this podcast, recommend it to others. Recommend it to a friend, to your family. And if you would like to learn more about our community, the Salesian Sisters of St. John Bosco, aka Daughters of Mary, Help of Christians, please check out our website, SalesianSistersWest.org. God bless you and have a wonderful day.